All right, ready to dive in. Today, we're cracking open Colleen Hoover's It Ends With Us, but we're going deeper than usual, deeper than just the story.
We're getting up close and personal with Lily Bloom.
Exactly. And we've got a direct line, so to speak. We're exploring Lily through her secret diaries.
Not just any diaries. These are addressed to Ellen DeGeneres.
Imagine confessing your deepest thoughts and feelings, knowing Ellen might read them. That's the kind of raw honesty Hoover gives us.
Right from the get-go, we meet Lily as a teenager, 15 years old.
Dealing with typical high school stuff, but she's also incredibly insightful about the world around her.
Yeah, like that entry where she talks about Atlas.
The boy on the bus.
The one she thinks might be living in that abandoned house.
It would have been easy to just, ignore it, but not Lily. She's genuinely worried. Even considers asking her mom, who works at a school, to see if they can help.
That really highlights her compassion. Her need to reach out to those in need, even as a teenager. It's pretty amazing.
It's like this core part of her character. And you know what? It kind of foreshadows the complicated relationships she faces later on. But it's more than just helping others, right?
Absolutely.
She sees Atlas sneaking back into that rundown house. It confirms her suspicions, but it also makes her think, makes her face a harsh reality.
And that experience, as young as she is, it really lays the groundwork for how she views love and relationships as an adult.
It's like she's drawn to the intensity, the passion, but she's always aware of the potential for things to go dark.
Just like what she witnessed with her own parents.
Right. That's a huge EE connection. Her childhood, as those diaries reveal, it wasn't easy.
We learn about her father's abuse towards her mother.
The constant fear, the uncertainty that clouded her younger years, it's heavy stuff.
And get this is where Atlas comes back into the picture. But not how you'd expect.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
Lily describes this awful fight between her parents. It's Atlas, the boy who's already experienced hardship, who steps in to protect her.
Oh, wow. That's heartbreaking. But it also must have created this incredibly strong bond between them.
They find solace in each other, even if just for a little while.
It makes you wonder, how could such a traumatic experience not leave a mark?
It's a lot for anyone to handle. Especially at that age.
But Lily, she's a survivor. We see that as her diaries jump ahead to her life in Boston.
She's chasing her dreams, building a career, determined to make a life for herself that's different from the one she left behind.
Trying to outrun her past, in a way.
In a way. But those experiences, those whispers of fear and insecurity, they don't just disappear.
And that's what makes her encounter with Ryle so captivating.
It's like destiny, right? You have Lily, who's built these walls around her heart, and she meets Ryle, this successful neurosurgeon, who seems to have it all figured out.
He does seem to have it all together, doesn't he?
But their first meeting, on that rooftop, those walls start to crumble. They reveal a shared vulnerability.
Okay, so tell me more about that rooftop encounter. What happens?
They connect by sharing their most painful truths. Imagine that. Bare their souls to a complete stranger under the cover of darkness.
Sounds intense.
Ryle, even with all his confidence, he opens up about his own fears. He talks about witnessing the death of a young boy in the ER. It's a chilling reminder of how fragile life can be.
And that shared vulnerability, that acknowledgement of the darkness they've both experienced, it sparks something between them.
Oh, absolutely. It's intense, it's instant, and it sets the stage for their entire relationship.
I can already tell it's going to be a roller coaster. But there's one thing I don't get.
What's that?
They share these incredibly personal things, but they don't even exchange names that night.
Yep.
Classic Colleen Hoover, leaving us hanging. So how do they end up meeting again? Fate has to intervene, right?
You could say that. Fate, in Lily's case, comes in the form of her free-spirited best friend, Elisa.
Elisa. She's like a force of nature, the life of the party. Always bringing the fun.
And the chaos. Don't forget the chaos. But beneath all that, she's fiercely loyal to Lily.
That definitely becomes important as the story unfolds.
Hugely important. And guess what? It's through Elisa that Lily's world collides with Ryle's again.
Oh, I can't wait to hear how that happens, but we're going to have to wait for the next part of our deep dive.
So picture this. It's the night of Lily's father's funeral. Talk about a day already loaded with emotions, right?
Heavy stuff.
And she runs into Ryle. Again.
No way. Where?
At Alyssa's apartment, of all places.
Wait, what? How?
Turns out, he's Alyssa's brother.
You've got to be kidding me. Colleen Hoover really knows how to keep things interesting.
Right. It's like, boom. Instant connection all over again. And remember Ryle's whole no relationships thing?
Yeah, he was pretty adamant about that.
Throws it all out the window the second he sees Lily again. This commitment-phobic neurosurgeon is totally smitten. Can't resist her.
It's like those naked truths they shared created this bond that just couldn't be broken.
Exactly. But, with all that intensity, there are bound to be some issues.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Ryle, for all his good qualities, he has this possessive side.
Uh-oh. That's never good.
But it comes out in a really unsettling way at his apartment party.
Oh, no. What happened?
Remember that photo Lily finds on his wall?
No, refresh my memory.
It's a picture of her from their rooftop encounter.
He took a picture of her that night. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's a little unnerving. This supposed romantic gesture is actually a bit red flaggy, don't you think?
Yeah.
And then there's his behavior at the party itself.
What do you mean?
He's jealous, drinking way too much. And then, he pushes Lily, and she hurts her ankle.
He pushes her. Whoa, this is getting scary.
It's a turning point in the story. Suddenly, we're forced to see the similarities between Ryle's possessiveness and the abuse Lily witnessed between her parents.
That's a really good point. It's like history is repeating itself.
Right, and it's like this incident unlocks something in Lily. She finds those old diaries, the ones to Ellen DeGeneres, and it's like she's back in her past, reliving all those raw emotions.
It's like she's trying to make sense of her present by looking back at her past.
Exactly. As Lily reads about her younger self dealing with her parents' toxic relationship, she sees the same patterns playing out in her own life.
She's finally seeing the red flags.
Exactly. And that's huge for her. It shows how much she's grown, how much stronger she is now.
But it can't be easy. I mean, she still has feelings for Ryle.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
She's completely torn. There's this undeniable chemistry between them, but there's also this growing sense of unease.
And then, as if things couldn't get any more complicated,
Life throws another curveball.
she finds out she's pregnant.
Talk about a game changer.
No kidding. Now she's dealing with an unplanned pregnancy, a separation from Ryle, and a whole mix of emotions.
It forces her to make some really difficult choices.
Like what?
She's wrestling with guilt, with societal expectations about what she should do, and then there's this deep down desire to break free from the cycle of pain in her family.
Wow. It's a lot to process.
It is. And then, right in the middle of all this, fate steps in again.
How so?
Atlas comes back into her life.
Get out of here. I knew he wasn't gone for good.
And he's not the troubled teenager she once knew. He's a successful chef, seemingly content with his life.
Okay, so what happens when they see each other again?
That restaurant scene. Their first encounter after all these years.
Yeah.
Let's just say the air is thick with unspoken history and years of pent-up emotions.
It's like she can't escape her past. Even when she tries to move on, it keeps finding its way back to her.
And this is where her inner struggle really heats up. She's drawn to Atlas, to that sense of comfort and understanding they had. But she can't deny the pull she still feels towards Ryle, the father of her child.
It's such a complicated situation, isn't it? And as if things weren't tough enough, she's navigating all of this while pregnant.
With Ryle off in England.
He went to England. What for?
Is pursuing this amazing medical opportunity.
So he's off chasing his dreams while she's back in Boston dealing with everything alone.
Pretty much.
That's gotta be tough on her. And the guilt she must feel, right? Carrying Ryle's child, but still having these feelings for Atlas.
It's like she's trapped between what she thinks she should feel and what her heart is telling her.
And Hoover doesn't shy away from that. She shows us the raw, messy reality of Lily's emotions, especially in those quiet moments when Lily's writing in her diaries.
Like when she's at Alyssa's house. Remember that scene? Lily's spending the night, and they're lying in bed, waiting for the baby to kick.
Alyssa with her hand on Lily's belly.
That's the one. It's such a powerful moment of female friendship, but there's also this underlying sadness.
Because Ryle should be there.
Exactly. It highlights everything Lily wants, everything she craves. A love that's both passionate and safe. A love that doesn't require her to sacrifice who she is.
So what happens when Ryle comes back from England?
Well, he's definitely remorseful. He wants to fix things, to be a father to their child. But is that enough?
That's the big question, right? Can you really forgive someone for that kind of behavior?
Hoover doesn't give us easy answers, and I kind of love that about her writing. Ryle might be trying to change, but that doesn't erase the pain he caused.
And Lily sees that, right?
Oh, absolutely. She realizes that forgiveness doesn't automatically equal reconciliation.
It's like she's finally breaking free from the cycle of abuse that's haunted her family for so long.
Exactly. And that's such a powerful message for readers. Choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's brave. It takes courage to walk away from something that's hurting you, even if it's love.
So, in the end, does Lily get her happy ending?
I think she gets something better. She gets to define what happiness means for herself. She chooses a future where love doesn't equal sacrifice.
It sounds like It Ends With Us is more than just a romance novel.
It's a story about resilience, about self-discovery, and about finding the strength to break free from toxic patterns.
It makes you think about the choices we make in the name of love and the boundaries we're willing to set to protect ourselves and our happiness, and that's what makes it such a powerful and thought-provoking read.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into It Ends With Us. We hope you enjoyed this emotional roller coaster of a journey as much as we did. And remember, keep exploring those stories that challenge and inspire. See you next time for another deep dive.